Hello, beautiful people. Shane here. Guys, I want to do this video. This is a second knife out of a box of knives that Sawtooth Dave was generous enough to loan me to check out and review. And this knife comes to us via a very controversial knife maker. If you don't know the whole story behind Mick Strider and the controversy that surrounds him, there's plenty of videos out there on that. Take take from them what you will, and just remember that, there's two sides to every story, and the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. I don't know, and I don't give a shit. The reason I say that is because if the man makes a good quality U.S. made knife, and it's something I want, then I'm just going to purchase it. What he does in his personal life, or what he's done in the past, or the fact that he's told a lie, I'd rather he didn't. But on the other hand, guys, we all buy Glocks, and they're probably one of the most evil companies in the world. We all love the Evo 2.0, 3.0, whatever, and we all know that they're made by the same company that makes Chris Reeves Sebenza clones. We tend to look over negativity when it surrounds something that we like. So, who cares? So at least this isn't coming from a company that part of those proceeds are going to go to support the genocide of its people. Anyway, moving on past that, guys, what we have here is the Strider J2. Now, guys, if you've experienced a Strider in the past, the Strider tends to make big, hefty, overbuilt knives, but this one is even bigger and heftier than what I was expecting. Once again, my pinky's all the way on the end of the knife, and you can see how much is left over there. If I choke all the way up on this knife, you can see how much handle hangs out the back. So is it unnecessarily large? Damn right it is, and I appreciate it for that. This knife is in CPM 154. I don't have a problem with that at all. I've discussed that in the past, how I don't necessarily want or need a super edge retention steel on a self-defense or a combat tool. And that's basically what this is. This thing was not designed to be worn in your basketball shorts. I don't know who wears those, but anyway, this wasn't made for that. This is two thick slabs of titanium. They're not Medford thick, but they're thick enough. And a big hefty CPM 154 blade. This is a relatively thick blade stock, as you can see. However, because this blade is so tall, this flat grind with this much height gives it plenty of opportunity to get nice and thin behind the edge. So it does slice just fine. Slices better than a lot of EDC knives that I've checked, to be honest with you. It's just all about that geometry. They got it right on this one. You love to hear people bitch about Strider and the lock stick. This does not have a steel insert, and it has absolutely zero lock stick. You can't hear any, you can't feel any. It's just fine. It's glassy smooth. Is it fidgety? No, it's not. Once again, I don't give a shit. It's not a spinner. It's not a child's toy. This is a big tactical folding knife. So they don't need to be fidgety. I love this thing, man. I was a little confused when I first saw it, and I wasn't sure about the blade to handle ratio and this huge bulge here. But man, once you hold it, you get it in hand, you get a really good purchase on this knife. It's really comfortable. There's a lot of heavy jimping, but it's not sharp jimping, so it's very comfortable. I've cut a large amount of cardboard. I'm not a recycler, but I saved some up, just to do some cutting tests, and this thing just glides right through it. I didn't have any hot spots in my hand when I was done. That I know of, this knife is completely factory except for the stop pins. Sawtooth Dave replaced the stop pins, Ignorantly, I didn't ask why. I would like to know that, why they needed replaced or why he felt like they needed replaced, but he did replace the stop pins. Um, I'm not speaking for the man, but from my experience, I feel like Dave likes to put a little personal touch on all of his knives, and that's great. And if he knocked out perfectly good stop pins and put in his own, I don't have a problem with that either. But yeah, the stop pins have been changed. Guys, there's no milling, there's no texture on this titanium. It's just perfectly slick and smooth. So I'm sure, if you're up in Minnesota in the wintertime, this would probably suck. But you know, it's just a very bare bones knife. Just a couple of barrel spacers there. No lanyard hole. It does have a reversible, bent pocket clip and an over travel stop. And that's about it, man. It's just it's a cool ass knife without being overdone, without being overly flashy, and I appreciate it. Um, guys, y'all know I like to talk about how a knife makes me feel. Um, and this one, it gives me it gives me that warm fuzzy feeling inside. So I really enjoyed carrying this. I'm going to carry it some more to get a little better impression of it between this and the Trouble Blades that I showed last time. I'm trying to share some pocket time to see which one I like the most. So far, I do like the texture on the Trouble Blades a little bit more. I feel like this geometry on this blade may be a little better. As you can see, guys, the secondary bevel on this thing is tiny, tiny, and that is because of the excellent geometry in this blade. The only other Striders I've ever owned or Strider design knives I've ever owned didn't have near this good geometry. And I wish I knew more on the name, the J2, why they named it that. I don't know. I know almost all of Mick Strider's knife names have some type of story or meaning behind them. I apologize that I don't know what that is with the J2, but anyway, yeah, man, it's a cool ass knife. It's not a cheap knife. I don't know the price, but I can promise you it's not a cheap knife. I don't think it's a Strider custom. It's more of a mid-tech knife, but yeah, if you get a chance to check one of these out, or even better than that, if you get a chance to own one, man, I think it's a really cool knife to add to the collection. It's definitely a cool conversation piece, and a great cutter on top of that. Is it an EDC knife? Said it before, say it again. Anything can be an EDC knife. You can EDC an Estley Hungless if you want. If you're if you don't have such low testosterone that you can't carry around 10, 11 ounces in your pocket, then yeah, you can make this an EDC knife. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate any of my time y'all spend with me. Peace. Love y'all.